Alright, welcome back. I'm in Kampala, Uganda, and it is threatening to rain, but what better place to begin my tour other than this intersection? Namirembe Road, Mathia Mulumba Road, and then there is this road and Old Kampala Road. And my journey is going to take you from here and move up to Makerere Hill. This is the Old Kampala area, and you can see that mosque right there, which you have already noticed from my previous videos. So it's a delight to bring you this content today. Namirembe Road is named after Namirembe Hill, Hill of Peace. It was one of the first major roads to connect the Buganda Kingdom seat in Mengo in that direction to the British Administrative Center in Old Kampala. So that's the Old Namirembe Road. And Mashia Lubumba Road is named after Saint Mathia Mulumba, one of the Uganda martyrs, and that is Mathia Mulumba. He was chief of the Saza who converted to Christianity and was executed in 1886. Interesting bit of history at the Old Kampala. He's a patron saint for families, chiefs. So if you're Catholic, you should know that. And we have already embarked on our route, and this is the Old Kampala Road that we are going to take, which will take us, we'll take a little detour to put us, so I can show you the beginning of Sapolo Kagwa Road, which you've already had enough of from this channel. And then from that road we shall reach Kamishi Road, Rashid Kamishi Road, which will return us onto the Gaddafi Road, after whom that mosque was named when he constructed it, but that in just a bit. Now, we are in this segment, and this segment is more or less downtown. Actually, if you wanted to know, Kisenyi is in that direction, Namirembe is in that direction. I think you can see the hill of Namirembe with the Namirembe Cathedral right at the tip of it, Protestant and Anglican headquarters in Uganda. Basically, I call it the Church of Uganda. All right, let's walk on this journey. Today is the 10th day of January 2026. So we could say it's actually also the 10th day of the year 2026. And this segment is very interesting because I think along the way we shall actually find the location of Fort Lugard, place where it is said the Union Jack was first raised, but all that in a bit. There are bus parks here. Most of the ones around this area tend to take the western Ugandan route. In other words, if you're going to Mbarara, Kabale, and so on and so forth. I can see Taos bus. I think a lot of you who travel this route actually know it. And then Global Coach made quite a name for themselves for this route, which is very interesting. And this is the bus alerting those who have booked for tickets that they want to leave. It's a busy and crowded street, which is very interesting, and that shows you that transportation for some reason never halts. Never halts. I think I wanted to talk a little more about the Gaddafi and slash National Mosque. I think I'm going to get a place where I have a good bit of vantage in terms of visibility, where I can actually be able to capture it much better. But come with me. We are still on Old Kampala Road. Yeah, so if you're wondering, this is basically the center of Old Kampala. I think where Kampala began, both as an administrative center and business center. So it is beautiful. And in case you're wondering, this bus has just come off of what you would call Fort Road. It's a very small stretch, and I don't know why they call it Fort Road, but I think that's because of Fort Lugard. And I've seen a place where this car seems to not want to allow me to cross. Similarly, the motorcycle guy does not want to. So, Fort Road. So that's Fort Road. And yeah, now this is the mosque. I think from here you're able to see much of it. This site was originally where Captain Frederick Lugard established his fort in 1890. yeah, in 1890 flat. Basically, the construction of the mosque here was first attempted by President Idi Amin Dada, and this is a well-known president of Uganda. However, the construction stalled for decades, and in 2006, it was finally completed with funding from Colonel Muammar Gaddafi of Libya and officially opened in 2007. At that time, it was originally named Gaddafi National Mosque, but in 2013, after his death, it was renamed Uganda National Mosque. But I think that's mainly due to geopolitical pressure. So it's actually always open up for tourism. So should you want to visit the mosque and tour it, feel free. But it hurts me that they had to strip it of Gaddafi's name. I think if someone builds something, they should definitely receive homage. Watoto really occupying this place. Filming, including broadcast and photography, is taking place for promotional and archival purposes. By attending a celebration service or event, you may be filmed or photographed. Also, by attending this event, you consent to being filmed. I didn't know there was such a rule, more so when you're in a public space. But for now, we are at Old Kampala Senior Secondary School. And this school was actually founded in 1933. It is one of the oldest schools in Uganda. Originally established to serve the growing Indian community in the Old Kampala areas, it was founded by two brothers, Kedi and Bidi Gumpta. I didn't know that much about them, but it's a beauty to learn about that. And now is the moment to literally show you the beauty, and that is the Fort Lugard. Fort Lugard. Fort Lugard was established in 1890, built by captain later named Lord Frederick Lugard, representative of the Imperial British East African Company. Basically, this fort marked the start of former British colonial rule in Uganda. The original brick building, the first of its kind in Uganda, still stands as a small museum. I think you can see it right there. Yeah, I think it's also open to tourists, but I had to show you that, much as I was talking about Old Kampala Primary School. And as such, we are actually still on Old Kampala Road, in case you're wondering. I think they're upgrading this road into a better surface road. I see this place has never changed, selling car tires and some auto parts. They actually have stayed around long enough. So this is more of Old Kampala Primary School. It is rumored that at some point it became a main barracks, but I highly doubt so. But anyway, it's also possible that it was temporarily occupied because it's a very old school. And you will see one of its older signposts. Now this Old Kampala Road will go back to meet Machia Mulumba Road that we showed you at the beginning of this clip. But for now, we are going to take this boundary close. Hopefully we'll see the main entrance of Old Kampala Primary School. This is the old signage, PO box. Interesting. So let's slope on Boundary Road. But Gaddafi Road actually starts sloping from there. We'll meet it again from this side. So for today, let me just take you around. Oh, this is the entrance to Old Kampala, in case you're wondering. So that's that. I like these boulders. I think these are curbstones too. Wow. No cost was spared. So it looks like this road section is also going to be upgraded, and they are fabricating these curbstones by themselves. These are actually going nowhere. I think this is really high strength concrete that has been used here. Now, because motorcycles are coming from my side, I think let me cross over to the other side of the road. And yep, this is more of the suburbs of Old Kampala. I think these are some of the old Indian residences around here. And I think most of them have not yet been recovered. like the Indians, when they were expelled, most of them never returned. I think they found greener pastures where they went, so some of us think it was disadvantageous, but some of them actually have prospered. So anyway, from this boundary cross, we are going to meet that road, which is going to mark the beginning of Sir Apollo Kagwa Road. And Sir Apollo Kagwa actually was a prominent person in the Buganda kingdom, and that in just a moment. But yeah, this is the beauty of this area. It's actually 6:12 p.m. in case you're wondering. East African time. East African time. So we are almost starting to glimpse at Sir Apollo Kagwa Road. Sir Apollo Kagwa Road. Sir Apollo Kagwa Road. And now this is literally the beginning point of Sir Apollo Kagwa Road. And this road that goes through into that direction, basically a boundary close. It's no longer closed, it actually goes through. Boundary close meets Sir Apollo Kagwa at this point, and this one here coming from town heading in that direction is actually in Salo Road. So on Salo Road is what we are going to take, but you can see a bus there. There's a bus terminal there called the YY bus. It's very prominent with transportation services around the city. So let's take Salo Road. But before we take Salo Road, I think it's worth mentioning the significance of Sir Apollo Kagwa, seeing that this street actually stretches all the way, going to cross Makerere Hill Road, and then proceeds to pass the Makerere University Western Gate, heads into Bwaise, Kawempe, and into northern Uganda. So I think it's a worthy road historically because it's a really long stretch. But Sir Apollo Kagwa he lived between 1864 to 1927 and was one of the most influential figures in Uganda's history. He was the Katikkiro, which would be translated to Prime Minister of Buganda. You know, Uganda and the capital city Kampala is within the Buganda kingdom. Okay, Uganda has Buganda in it, and Buganda occupies much of the capital city area. So he was a key signatory of the 1900 Buganda Agreement. I don't know, but he was considered a prolific leader who modernized the kingdom's administration and infrastructure. Anyway, let's take on this Salo Road. I think on Salo Road we shall take Rashid Khamis Road and then join on to Gaddafi Road. And that Gaddafi Road should actually take us up to Makerere Hill Road, where we shall probably stop our filming when we reach the Makerere University main gate, which actually marks the end of Makerere Hill Road. So I want to go on to the other side of the road, but I think I may have to be a bit patient because I want to follow this bus. Yeah, so follow the bus. I do now follow. So more of those Indian infrastructure. So you can see why this is Old Kampala. Wherever there is business to do, you'll find Indians. But anyway, Rashid Khamis Road is named after the very person, Rashid Khamis. And he was a prominent figure in the local Muslim community during the colonial eras. Basically, this road is famous for its 1930s Asian style architecture, as you already have been observing from this footage. And so the beauty is that some of these buildings have unique corner house designs, narrow balconies, and literally kind of serve the merchant classes. Most of them have been replaced, but I think a few still do survive, although they are gated. So you can see one of this property. I think you can see more of those. You can see more of this, but the wall fence doesn't serve as much justice. And you can see also the structure. This must have really been a big business because the structure is really huge. More of those buildings right here. I don't know whether now they're private residences or the government took over their administration. So we are still on Rashid Khamisi Road. Yes, Rashid Khamisi Road. So we are hoping to join Gaddafi Road, and I think now is the time that I go onto the other side of the road, but I don't know whether that is the right decision. Anyways, so this car has forgotten to continue. Whatever he's up to, I don't know. At least I get to cross. Of course, this one is relatively new infrastructure, but bordering it, you can see the old Indian structure, merchant like. Actually, if you go to major towns that existed in the colonial era times, you'll find such structures. Actually, even post-colonial eras, after the government, the British government gave ruling rights to the Africans, you find a lot of those structures. So they are common with town centers. Go to Jinja, go to Iganga, and so on and so forth. They still exist. Many never reclaimed, and most of them are occupied by half-castes who were the mix between Indian and natives. I think now in the distance you can see a glimpse of the Gaddafi Road right there. That in just a bit. Interesting. So I don't know how they are reconciling ownership of these properties. I do not know. Though I see apartments there, and those also must have had the Muslim communities. Anyway, we have officially met the Gaddafi Road, which seems to be under renovation, and you can see the Gaddafi Mosque, Uganda National Mosque or Gaddafi National Mosque, and basically it's too dusty. I do not know what to do with it, but I think I'll have to cross onto the other side, hoping motorcycles can let me go through. Yes, as I prepare to tell you just a thing or two. So basically this road is, I think, self-explanatory. I mean, it was named in honor of Muammar Gaddafi for his extensive financial support to Uganda. Yeah, he donated a lot to Uganda as a country. And along this road, there are very interesting establishments, and I have a feeling that this actually once was a swampy area. But anyway, the two important things are Aga Khan schools, and then on the left, Aga Khan University. Aga Khan schools were established in 1959 as the first multicultural, multiracial schools in Uganda. It's actually old. You can see some of these structures on this side. And then the university basically was established in presence. Okay, that doesn't make sense. Basically, anyway, let me see. Where is the signpost? Yeah, that's the signpost of the Aga Khan University. I suppose they are supposed to be occupying those buildings, which were renovated. But anyway, Aga Khan University established its presence in Uganda in 2000, flat. This state-of-the-art teaching they actually have a nursery school, but anyway, this is where the university began from, much as they have a nursery school. So generally, you find them being called Aga Khan Education Services Uganda, saying that they start from as low as nursery school and as far as university. So it only fits that they should call themselves Education Services. But this is the primary section. Right now, they are not around because schools are in their holiday periods, holiday times. Though the university has currently, or is currently building a state-of-the-art teaching hospital and campus, which began in 2022. But I don't think it is within these vicinities. It must be within Kampala still, which is okay. Anyway, let's proceed. And if you see up the rise the other end at the top of the hill, this road is going to meet Makerere Hill Road. For now, let's move with the flow of traffic, and we shall cross the bridge when we reach it. Now, welcome to Kampala, Uganda. We are actually surprisingly just 4 days from the presidential elections, which means it's very interesting that Uganda is peaceful. Yesterday I was postulating that perhaps the incumbent has put all safeguards to make sure he wins. That's why he hasn't been violent recently. So let's continue on our Gaddafi Road. Oh, and this road that branches off here is called Ndegeya. Mpavana. Sorry, Mpavana Road. Mpavana are some birds which, when they are crying, sound like Mpavana, Mpavana, which in Luganda means give me children, give me children. It seems to them that's how the cry of the bird sounded to them. But yeah, that road has an intriguing name. Oh, I see someone is constructing and they're pouring a concrete slab, and the slab is being cast simply by pumping concrete to those upper floors. And I don't know whether this is the truck that delivered this, but I don't think so. So let's see. It is interesting. It's interesting to see the thing in action. Concrete pumping it that high. I wonder whether that leverage is not so much for it. Is it stable? I think they're still working on it. And this is actually Chinese. Interesting. So probably that can pump up to how many floors? How many meters? If you look at the height of that thing, it's going to be stretched out. Anyway, so right now we are soon approaching the neighborhoods of Law Development Center, which I believe is behind this structure. And it's kind of funny that Law Development Center decided, let me try to climb up here and see if I can show you this place from above here. Just right here. Oh, this looks like a school. So yeah, that is Law Development Center. So they have those few forests, and they decided to name them a few trees, and they decided to name them Law Development Forest, Law Development Center Forest, LDC Forest. So their main buildings are there up in the distance. And for some reason, after guys have studied their 4-year law course, they have to do 1 year at the Law Development Center to be allowed to represent people in the court, advocate of the High Court, something like that. Otherwise, your degree will not help you that much. But all right. So, in case you need to know, it was actually established in 1968 and was created to provide practical legal training for lawyers in Uganda. It was formally established by the Law Development Center Act of 1970. This street takes you through Makerere Kivulu. It's a suburb of slum, which is considered one of the informal residences for people who worked in the markets and hospitals around Makerere and Mulago. Yeah, I was still telling you that every lawyer in Uganda must pass the bar course here to be able to practice. I don't know why they call it the bar course. In case you guys understand why it's called the bar course, I do not know what that's supposed to mean. Who placed the bar there? Is it a bar like alcohol bar, or bar like a steel bar, or timber bar? Okay, now let's head into the distance. Some of these buildings look really old, and I want to think these are the first people to construct buildings in Kampala. How old this building is, no one knows. But we are still on Gaddafi Road, walking up, and thanks for being with me in this tour. I only hope that my battery will allow me to be able to reach the Makerere University main gate, or at least the Makerere Hill Road. So more of LDC right there in the distance. I know, it looks like maybe they used to have a forest, because it was between LDC and Makerere, and was serving as natural green lung for the city. That's too much of a claim, really. For now, let's go and head on to Makerere Hill Road. I was trying to avoid walking next to the road, but it looks like I have been condemned unconsciously to it, because I was trying to avoid these wavering motorcycles that choose to leave the main tarmac and want to take on the pedestrian walkway. Or perhaps, instead of having this open drainage channel, they should close them up so they provide walkways to pedestrians. For now, Ryan HC Hospital. What is HC? What do they do? All right. Oh, okay. I think last time I met this street, and this street still takes you to Makerere Chivulu, and this was the Seventh-day Adventist church that I was telling you. Kampala Buwanguzi district headquarters, church services. So you're supposed to, I think, enter from the other side, not this side. All right. So they have how many services? Saturday worship Sabbath, which is today, from 8 a.m. to 12:30 midday. Sabbath afternoon, they have 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday fellowship at 6 p.m. Friday. Vespers, 6:30 p.m. What are Vespers? I don't know. But yes, so Uganda is actually heavily religious, and it is said that statistically there are more Christians than Muslims. I think that's the broader categories we tend to use. Of course, one or two Baha'i people. Never understood the Baha'i people. But now, in case you wanted to branch off of Gaddafi Road to go to the main entrance of Law Development Center, this is the route you would take. And so it's called Sipiria Mukasa Road. Yeah, so people have finished the evening service, which they said goes from what? This billboard doesn't have it, but yeah, this is what they offer. I think let me cross from here and prevent myself from walking